First, I'm looking for each race itself, and obviously you prepare everything in order to win the championship in the end. Statistics, I do enjoy them when I look afterwards at them, but they're not a main target for me. For me, a main target is to achieve every race a victory, honestly. That's something I would like to do.
In 2001, Michael Schumacher very nearly achieved his ultimate goal. The German, who the previous year had secured Ferrari's first Drivers' World title for 21 years, won a record-equalling 9 Grand Prix on his way to retaining the Drivers' Championship, his 4th.
I want to win as many races as I can, and each event is a different one, and I see it as a different motivation and challenge again for me.
On his way to the title, Schumacher raised the all-time career win record held by France's Alain Prost to 53 victories and broke the all-time points record, raising that to 801. And he finished either first or second in all but 3 races. Ferrari were the team to beat. Either Schumacher or teammate Brazilian Rubens Barrichello have been on the podium at the end of every race for the past 2 seasons. This success is also due in no small part to the behind-the-scenes players, like team president Luca de Montezemolo and Jean Todt, the sporting director at Ferrari.
It's mega important that we work as the team in the way we do work together, but they have, I don't know, it's difficult to say it in percentage, honestly, but they have a mega important situation in our success.
2K1 was a revolutionary year for F1. While the governing body, the FIA, was trying to slow the cars down, the teams found ways of speeding them up. One of the biggest talking points all year was the introduction of traction control, a device that, in theory at least, prevents the wheels from spinning, whatever the weather conditions. But initially, driver aids received a cool reception from a number of quarters, among them some of the drivers. Ross Brawn is the brains behind Ferrari's technological revolution.
I mean, it really isn't the case of turning the traction control on and forgetting about it, because the driver likes a certain amount of rear wheel slip to balance the car. He likes to get the balance between understeer and oversteer on the throttle. So it's more of a challenge in many ways for a driver to get the system working correctly at all the corners at each track. And I think people like Michael and Rubens, they take it as a challenge. They don't see it as a concession to their driving skills.
The main drawback with driver aids is that they can take away the spectacle of racing. But there's more to it than that, according to the man renowned for his exceptional car control, whatever the conditions.
You can look at it from a different angle. In football, you don't see all the games a goal. I mean, and still it is the most entertaining sport. You have to find the right relation for overtaking and for entertainment compared to what the people like.
So what is the price of fame for being the world's best driver? For Schumacher, being revered by millions of people is obviously hugely flattering, but he's very much a family man, and chances for a quiet life are now negligible.
I'm known almost everywhere, and it's not something I regard as a target to be in this situation. I loved my sport. In karting, I was there for 15 years. I was totally unknown and still successful, and that was the best time I've had in my life, to some degree. Now I'm well known. I'm certainly much more wealthy, but I would be happy to give away the fame. Honestly, that's something. It's a part of my job which I'm not really so interested in.
But for Michael and brother Ralph, life under the glare of publicity started many years ago. They're now the most successful siblings ever to have competed in Formula One.
Mein Name ist Michael Schumacher.
Age 20, Schumi was already causing a stir. And he wasn't alone. Even the 14-year-old Ralph showed signs of things to come. And while Michael's idol at the time was the late Ayrton Senna, Ralph admired only one person.
Right now, I look up only to my brother, nobody else.
Things are obviously a bit different 12 years down the line. Ralph is at Williams BMW alongside former kart champion Juan Pablo Montoya of Colombia, the revelation of the season. The Williams was the surprise package this year, helped a great deal by Michelin tyres, making a positive return to F1 after an absence of 17 years. Despite having two drivers who have admitted to not getting on together, 3 victories and a second place for Ralph and a win and 2 runners-up spots for Montoya proved the team's credentials.
I know we're going to have another good car next year. We should be competitive in normal terms, and that makes me feeling I can win more races and I can compete, and I will have a big competition next year. There will not only be the McLaren team, there will be as well the Williams team with BMW there to make our life difficult.
The other challenger next season will be David Coulthard, runner-up this year in his McLaren Mercedes. The Scot made the podium in 10 of the 17 races last season, winning 2 of them. Despite winning a couple of races, former double world champion Mika Häkkinen in the other McLaren failed to finish in 7. He's now hung up his driving gloves for 12 months and will be replaced by promising young Finnish compatriot Kimi Räikkönen, who had a very impressive debut season.
There is now the new generation coming along. We have Räikkönen, we have Heidfeld, we have my brother, we have Montoya. All these kind of guys seem to be very promising. Saying that, some of them are the first year here, and we have seen it is sometimes necessary to have more than 1 year to really know what is your competitiveness.
Most F1 drivers learn their phenomenal car control in their formative years in go-karts. It's one form of racing to which Schumacher would consider returning. For him, sports cars are too dangerous, and he has no intention of driving stateside. So when his contract is up at Ferrari in 2004, maybe he'll go back to his roots.
Formula 1 is the highest target. I don't see any other challenge. What I could see myself is doing here and there a go-kart race. That's something I still like, and I'm always in favor of doing, just for fun.
Last month, Schumi was guest of honour at a round of the Kart World Championship, which took place in his hometown of Kerpen in Germany. It may have been for fun, but he lost 2 kilos to prepare for the race, in which he finished second to overall champion 19-year-old Vitantonio Liuzzi of Italy. Next year, Michael Schumacher will be chasing a 3rd straight and record-equalling 5th Formula 1 Drivers' World title. As for the F1 drivers of the future, they're already priming themselves for the long and arduous road that lies ahead. For now, at least, they can just enjoy themselves with their idol and dream of what might be.